Hey everyone, welcome to Leadership Call for the 23rd of January. Good evening from Amsterdam. It's 6 o'clock here. Jeff, thanks for joining us. Joined by Jeff Dastrup, Director of Training at Scentsy.
Yeah,
I've mentioned it a few times, but I'll mention it again just so we have good clarity on it. Deb was a part of the leadership calls for a long time, and then she will join us from time to time on the leadership calls, but not every week, similar to the way other executives do, so that we can have many people from the consultant development and training teams represented. So kind of fun. I don't know, but any quote from Pee Wee Herman I'm going to avoid. Somebody in the chat said something about Pee Wee Herman. And yeah, we're not. Wasn't there a Big Adventure and Big Top or something like that? Movies, yeah, I remember.
This may be the first ever Pee Wee Herman reference in a leadership call.
I think so. I don't remember any other. Way to go, Teresa.
Which is a shame that it took this long.
That's true. How has Scentsy been around this long, and we have not yet had a Pee Wee Herman reference? So I hope that you're getting ready for World Tour. We had a great time at the first World Tour. Lots of kind of fun announcements. Of course, there's giveaways and some kind of sneak peeks at some stuff coming up. There were a couple of moments where we put stuff up on the screen and people were like, oh my God. There's I won't give away I don't want to give away too much, and then a lot of learning, a lot of planning, and great stuff. So I think you're going to really, really love it. And yeah, see, I don't think I'll be in Birmingham this weekend. I know I'm fairly certain I'll be in Glasgow, Scotland. So yeah, Jeff, you headed out this weekend?
I am. I cannot wait. It has been way too long.
Oh my gosh.
What a great opportunity it is for us at the home office to come out and spend some time with you leaders and your teams. It's just such a great experience that we look forward to. But yes, I'm headed out to Toronto.
Oh, fun. You do get to go to Canada quite a bit.
Yes, I love the greater Toronto area, and I'm so excited to go back.
That's awesome. One thing I'll note, just kind of a cool thing with Scentsy is being in Amsterdam. Of course, one of the things I had to do, was on my bucket list, was go to the Anne Frank house, which is, I mean, just spectacular. It's amazing. The house still exists. I went on a little guided tour, and it was so fascinating to go through the guided tour, and he was talking all about Anne Frank. And afterwards, I had on my Scentsy hoodie. I have a Scentsy hoodie. And afterwards, I walked up to the tour guide. He speaks perfect English. And I said, you know, what's weird is in Idaho, we actually have an Anne Frank Memorial Museum. And he said, really? In Idaho? I've never even heard of it. I said, yeah. It's Anne Frank, and I showed him a picture of it, and I said they have the little outline of what her room was there, and a statue of Anne Frank. And in fact, we have the tree that Anne saw out the window has since died, but they took shoots of it and have sent it around the world. And in Idaho, we have one of the shoots from the actual tree that Anne Frank looked at. And so then I got to tell him, and I said, you know, hey, the company that I work for, Scentsy, we have an agreement with this Wasmuth Center, and we help provide funds and education and things like that for, human rights and being an inclusive society and things like that. And so it was really cool. I had an opportunity to talk about Scentsy and the generosity side of Scentsy, the kind of the emotional and human impact side of Scentsy. So that was really cool. And I thought that was kind of a fun note. And then just like a once in a lifetime opportunity to walk through the actual warehouse and then annex where the Franks and others had been in hideout for 25 months. So in
That's neat.
25 months. You know, we went through COVID, and the difficulty of that makes you appreciate 25 months in hiding. Just incredible what they went through. So thanks to all of you for your contribution, for creating this company and culture that allows us to do and have such an impact. And of course, thanks to Heidi and Orville for having that impact. Okay, we need to hear from Whitney. Let me just share quickly our top sellers. No big surprises. And yeah, good to see things doing well. Hope you enjoyed the flash sale. Saw some posts about it, and saw that it had an impact in your business. Love to see that. We have over 1,500 worldwide level 1 earners. That's amazing. Going to be getting a free registration to, this is unofficial pending the audit. Current, there's still time left. Free trip to Reunion. And we have over 750 worldwide earners for level 2. Current, unofficial, pending the audit. And here are our level 3 current, unofficial, pending the audit earners, listed alphabetically by award name. Congratulations. Can't wait to see the pictures of you guys on the trips and the fun that you'll have. This week's learning plan is about Bring Back My Bar and Scentsy Club subscription, Scentsy Club training lesson. Jeff, your team puts this together. Any additional insights on the Scentsy Club training lesson? Uh-oh.
Well, Jason, my laptop battery was about to die, so I had to plug in.
I was like, oh, wait, did we lose Jeff?
Yeah, nope, I'm here. This is a good lesson. Scentsy Club training, I mean, it's such a great program, and as you all are familiar with it, this is a great resource for your team members who are less familiar with Scentsy Club. I know they're coming to you with questions. Send them this link. It'll walk them through everything that they need to know about Scentsy Club, including FAQs and everything really that they need. So definitely want to check that out.
Yeah. And then the Tuesday training webinar, Inspire Customers with Scentsy Club Perks with Superstar Director Courtney Young. Remember, we do this to give you easy conversation starters, easy things to talk about, easy ways to engage your team. And so we hope that you'll take advantage of this and take, little snippets of the Scentsy Club training lesson and share it with your team, encourage your team to go and look at it, maybe even do some like poll questions or things like that. So you can do some fun things with it for content. And then this week, we're going to talk about consistency. Excited to be joined by Superstar Director Whitney Hubble. Whitney, thank you so much. Let me make sure I click all the things. Oh, there we go. And let's see, you already, oh, there we go. Gonna talk about consistency. This is fun because this is a business that isn't always real consistent as far as the results go. So talk to us about consistency and how you implement that and how you deal with consistency even through inconsistent results.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. So consistency is a huge part of our business, mostly because we are our own boss. So we have to consistently show up without having someone clock us in and clock us out, make sure we're on time, all of those things, right? So with consistency, I actually found an article and I want to share a few things from it, but to truly be consistent, our goals have to wholeheartedly be in line with who we are and what we want, because it's going to be pretty impossible to stay consistent with something that you don't really want want in the end game. And that's going to take some self-reflection. So what do you want? What do you want to be consistent at in your business? Whether it be PRV, sales, sponsoring, showing up, doing a live, whatever it may be, you have to make that goal first. So really quick, four reasons you may not be consistent is that, well, the first one is that it's not your true goal. And that's a big part of Scentsy, right? So be authentic to who you are. There's so much sharing. There's so much going on with Scentsy, which is absolutely amazing. It's truly the reason that I'm in the part of my business that I am, because other people shared, but it's really hard to get distracted by the things that maybe are not what you need in your business right now, okay? So being authentic, your goals are not in line with who you really are, or maybe what you really want, or what you may need in your business, or maybe what you want to become. So if you're setting yourself up to want to be consistent, or to tell yourself that you want to be consistent, that you really don't want to, that's going to be failure, right? The second reason is because you want instant gratification. That's a huge thing in this business. This is not get rich quick. This is not overnight success. And that is something actually that's really hard in Scentsy right now because of COVID times. There was some quote unquote overnight success. There was some instant gratification with what was going on in our business, because it was just a special time in our life, right? So don't expect the instant gratification. The hard work, the self-discipline, the consistency of showing up is what's going to give you that gratification in the end. And part of that is if you're not coachable or willing to learn, if you're not wanting to train yourself or trust the process and really stick it out, maybe when it's not easy, again, that's going to set yourself up for failure. And that kind of connects to what Jason just said about the flash sale. I'd probably say 90% of consultants are really consistent with sharing during the flash sale, right? Because it's easy. It gives them instant gratification. It's something that is right away. If I share a picture of a warmer and tell them it's $9, most likely you're going to get a sale, right? And that's great that you're consistent at flash sales, but there's so much more to this business than a flash sale. I think we all know that. The third thing is changes. So obviously life happens, changes happen, and we have no control over that, but we do have control over how we react to those changes in our life. Same thing in Scentsy business, right? There's been change lately with how Scentsy is or how we need to share Scentsy, right? We're getting back to the basics of needing to party. We can't just post and pray anymore. You're going to have to put some work in, okay? But how we react to that change. Are we, again, open to learning about how to run a business, or how to take a step back and have that self-reflection to say, okay, what do I need to do to make these changes? And then the last, which is huge to me, is a support system. My husband, obviously, but also our accountability partners. Find your people, find your tribe in this business. They're there to keep us going. They're there to help us be consistent, to keep us on track, and to call us on our BS when we're making those excuses not to be consistent, okay? So I want you to get to know yourself. If you don't know what you want to be consistent at, again, that's going to be the first thing. We need to make a goal of what you want. Get to know yourself, get to know what your strengths and weaknesses are inside your business and out, right? If you're not naturally a creative person, trying to create something creative every single month is going to set you up for failure, because that's just not part of who you are, right? Let's see, what makes you happy? Right? If taking pictures doesn't make you happy, don't take the pictures, right? We have, again, so many people sharing Google, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram. Like, there's just so much out there. Literally, Scentsy does a weekly roundup. You best bet I'm stealing those pictures and I'm using them. Those are the best pictures of the week. Why wouldn't we, right? So get to know you, and that's part of your why. Why do you do this business? A lot of people talk about this. I don't care if it makes you cry or not, but it has to be special to you. So me personally, it's about my family. I want to be here when they leave for school or work. I want to be here when they get home. If they're sick, I want to be there to pick them up. If they have sports, I want to be there. I want to provide them the life that I had growing up. There were no worries. There were no issues with where is she or where is he or anything like that. I'm my own boss. Vacations, for me, it is literally about a lifestyle of freedom. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like being told what to do. And I know that me going to a traditional 9-to-5 job would not be, it wouldn't make me happy, right? So find out what your why is. And it can be something as simple as all those things I just listed. Those aren't big, huge, I want to change the world, but it is a big, huge change the world to my kids and to my husband, right? So make a goal, write it down with a deadline, have that self-reflection, and then celebrate yourself. So there's a few things that I'm going to share with you how I am consistent. Let's be really clear that I wasn't always consistent. When I started Scentsy, it's not the reason why I'm still doing Scentsy, okay? And that is another beauty of this business, right? Something that I started has totally evolved and changed into something totally different. And that's the freedom of this business, right? So once I made the decision that I wanted to be a leader, I wanted to make this a business, I needed the income for our family. That since that day that me and Eric have literally sat down and had that conversation, I haven't missed a beat. Why? Because my family is a non-negotiable and my business is a non-negotiable. Okay. I focus on the things that matter, right? So those daily habits, I have figured out what I prioritize, what's important in my business, and I have moved those into daily tasks. Monday through Friday, I work. Monday through Thursday, I'm available to my team. And I have broken those down by days on what is the bare minimum, right? What are the non-negotiables in my business that I have to do to keep myself growing, not just complacent, but growing, right? And that's going to take some time. But there's so many, again, systems, lists, ideas out there that if you don't like any of them, start your own. Literally go through a week and write down every single thing you do in your business. And then I want you to prioritize what was income producing, what helped you, what didn't, what was fluff, and what wasn't. So we have to realize that the fluff doesn't matter. And there's a lot of fluff. If you're consistent with fluff, you're going to know that in your business because it's not going to be moving. Okay. And that's a hard thing to hear for some people. A lot of times people say, well, I'm not where I want to be in my business. I don't understand why my team's not doing this or this. Okay, but what are you doing? What type of information are you sharing as a leader with your team? Are you sharing consistent things that are not income producing? Then that's going to be their focus too, right? Okay, you need to think before you even focus on a task. Sorry, I wanted to check on my notes. Will this help me in my business? Is this income producing? Will this help my team with their sales or with their numbers or what they need help with? We really have to have that time to have that self-reflection. But all of those habits, those mini habits are going to help with consistency because we're going to be focusing on the things that are going to produce those results. It's hard to be consistent in something when you don't see those results. And if you're, like I said, you're continually doing things that are not providing the results, you're not going to stay consistent with it. And you're probably going to say, I'm done. But we really need to take the time to say, okay, but what are those things that we're doing? Okay. So me personally, it's always my business first. I am a superstar director, yes, but my sales still have to be at a certain point for me. For me, it's 500 by the 1st and it's 2K by the 15th. That doesn't have to be yours. That's what I have now grown to have. So I can, on the second part of the month, really focus on my team, really run those reports and see who's close to a promotion or who needs help with trainings. I personally will not train if my PRV is not squared away. I will still share trainings. I will still give that and provide that for my team. But the time it takes for me to do a training, if I don't have that PRV, I'm going to spend that time getting my PRV. Okay. And that's something that I had to learn early on as a director. Was I was so excited to help my team and to be their leader and to do these things for them, but my personal business started to suffer. And I can't do that without having my business squared away first. I mean, it even just comes with the experience of being in the business. Being able to say, yes, I can relate to that. That's happened to me before. Here's how here's how I went around that, or here's how I fixed that. So I front load for the next month. Obviously, I focus on the month that I'm in. You will not see me sharing this warmer until literally the last 2 days of the month. Why? Because I haven't met my PRV goals. I need my 4K PRV. That's my goal. And until I get that, I'm not sharing anything next month. Okay. That's what I know in my goals and in my head, and that I have printed for my monthly goals, what I need to do. And that's where it starts to become, I don't want to say easy, but it becomes simple to be consistent, because I know the things that are important that I have to do to get there. So the things that I use for that are my daily and my monthly checklist. It is nothing fancy. It is not pretty. It is not anything. But I know, right, that every Tuesday's team day, they're going to get a tip Tuesday. I'm going to post in my VIP group, in my team group, in my leaders group. That's all part of consistently showing up. Some people say, oh, well, I don't need to put that on a checklist. I'm just going to do that. That's an issue in leadership, of leaders not showing up consistently. I'm going to do recognition on the team page. I'm going to reach out to 5 frontline. And then I always have my Connect Daily 5, which is just being consistent with reaching out to my new customers. So that's one day. And that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 things that would probably take me maybe 30 minutes total, right? So doing this business 30 minutes a day, Monday through Friday, that's going to be doable. We're using the bathroom at least that amount of time every day. So totally doable, right? And then I have my monthly tasks. So I do have my 1st, my 15th, and the end of the month of what I need to get done. Again, these are prioritized lists, but it's easy to stay consistent when 1, I know what I have to do, and 2, I know what's producing those results. Okay. And then the other thing is, like I've said many times today, is what's important in our business. Sales, sponsoring, coaching, and training. And those are the things that I focus on. I will say that with consistency, everything, and I actually shared on my stories last night, everything is hard before it's easy. So if you're not able to be consistent right away, again, it's not going to happen overnight. We have to make that plan of, same thing as like weight loss or working out, right? We're going to have to make a plan of what we're going to do. We can't just go do our regular grocery shopping, come home with our Oreos, and want to lose 5 pounds. Like, we have to plan that we're going to go to the grocery store. We're going to get the healthy foods to bring home to choose from to eat. Same thing in your business. We have to figure out what things that we need to have on our list of things we need to do to take that action with, to then have the results in our business. Okay. So that's all I had in my notes.
That is awesome. Is there, I mean, there's so many kind of finite questions there, kind of digging into what you do. Are there any things that you do that you're like, I have to do this, on a daily basis or weekly basis? What are a couple that are clear priorities for you?
So I have to party. That's one thing. That's something that we, like I mentioned, we've lost sight of in Scentsy, and I think it's super important. That's something that I'm sharing with my team too. We do those weekly booking blitz where that's not just me asking people to do a blitz with me. That's letting my team know that should be their focus, right? Something else I do is weekly emails to my team. It's literally just short and sweet. This is what's going on this week, right? This is what your focus should be. And I've asked for feedback on those too. Hey, are these helpful to y'all? Like, because sometimes as a leader, we I believe that our job is to offer these things, right? And sometimes when we're doing our offerings, we don't get a huge reply. And so we're like, okay, is this helpful? Is this not? But I've asked them before, and many times the answer is yes. That tells me exactly what I should be focusing on in the week, because again, it's hard. It's easy to get distracted in this business of what may be fun, but may not be income producing. So I do the weekly emails. I party. I show up in my VIP group and social media consistently. And I think a lot of it for this call specifically with leaders is just showing up, showing that showing your team that you're working, showing how you're doing it. And really just getting that experience so then you can relate to them when they come across the same issues that you came across while working your business. Yeah.
This is really good, Whitney. I have a ton of notes over here. Really grateful for everything that you've shared. One of the things that you said really stood out to me, because I find that this is true in my experience, that instant gratification is something that really tugs on all of us. I mean, and it's easy sometimes to lose sight of what we want most because we're distracted by what we want now. What kind of tricks have you found or have you used when you're having one of those moments where right now I just want to do this thing that's going to bring that instant gratification, but I know that I need to do this thing that's in alignment with my long-term goals? How do you shift your focus from those distractions to your long-term goals?
That's a good question. I have my goals in front of me. They're literally taped to my computer. And though they can be overlooked easily since they're always there, I know what's important. I think a good example that I've recently been through, and this is just not even leadership specific, but in sales. So like I said, I always party. That's a given. But one thing that I wanted to do this year was I wanted to offer scent crepes every month. So like the mystery boxes. I am a creative person, so that to me is fun, right? And I didn't get an instant answer with that with my customers because I hadn't really done them before. So they're like, what is this? How is this different from the whiff box? What is in here? Can I see what's in there? I want to see what I'm buying, like all of these things, right? And I have my accountability partners who they do these a lot and are very, very successful with them, where they just have people who sign up every month. And I'm not necessarily going to get that, but that accountability to say, just be consistent with it. Try it for 3 to 6 months. And if you're still not getting the results, that's fine. But it can be a huge opportunity. Now, when I just cleaned my office before this call, especially for y'all. You're welcome. But sometimes that is not the most important thing to do. I work better in a clean environment, but I also know that getting thank you mail out is much more important than my clean office, right? So I need to have that touch base with my customer to not only say thank you, but to get them their scent of the month and be able to have that conversation later this month, right? So I think it is literally just self-awareness and having, like I said at the beginning, the accountability or the team effort that your tribe, who you're like, okay, what are we doing today? Right. And so when people are like, cleaning your office, no, you need to get your mail out. So there's, stuff like that, where they're keeping you accountable to be consistent in what's important in your business, for sure. And it's not, I'm not perfect at being consistent. Let's be really clear. I just have learned through the years what to be consistent at to grow. And so that's the thing, like everyone's consistent in something. You can be consistently watching Netflix every night, but we need to turn it to what's going to be helpful in our business to be consistent in. Yeah.
Love that. Thank you.
Great ideas. And yeah, as Cindy said, needed that accountability for sure. And I don't know what it is, but you mentioned like checklists. Having a checklist seems to be pretty important to this whole process of when when I'm at my best, when I'm really doing this type of thing well, I have created kind of a little checklist, and I print it off every Monday morning, and it's got daily tasks and weekly tasks, and I can check through it. And so yeah, and then you can add some monthly tasks in there, Sylvia said. So Whitney, thank you so much
You're welcome.
for sharing this and for reminding us of being consistent with things. And I love that, you know, identifying the things that are most important to you and start there. So incredible message, Whitney. Thank you so much. And thanks for your consistency. Jeff, thanks for being on, and can't wait to hear how Toronto goes.
It's gonna be fun.
The rest of you, we look forward to seeing you at World Tour soon. I did switch to my orange, Netherlands orange. It was too weird having all black, and it's very European here. So we will have a call again next week. I'll be coming to you live, I think, next week from Ireland. So I'll be wearing green there. So that'll be good. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks again, Whitney. See you all soon. Bye.